motivated you to enter into the field of sociology?
When I first got here, they just threw a whole bunch of different general education classes at us, and I just explored, and history was one thing that I was interested in for a minute, and there's different branches of history like Latin American history, but one sociology class that I took was Social 101, and the professor to me had made it interesting to me, and I was actually able to sit through the class and not take a note because I was able to take in every word that he said into my head, and I realized that not any of the other classes were like that, and I found myself interested in it. So sociology has a whole lot of different things. It's a study of people, and it tells you how a certain person may think or what to expect when you're around a group of people. So like I said, I'm a people person, and I find that interesting because I was able to take it in.
Now, we're here on the football field here at UCLA, and this storied ground where Jackie Robinson played, where a lot of great African-American athletes played. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played in the Poly Pavilion, which is just in the background. The great John Wooden. This is a great campus for athletes. Tell us about your 2 years in football and what type of adjustments. It's certainly much different than high school football. But you as a wide receiver, what about the opportunities and challenges you've had in 2 years here at UCLA?
Definitely. It was really a struggle when I first got here. The terminology, the playbook, the coaches, and, coming up in high school, you're with the coaches all 4 years just like you're in college, but the coaches are more into being a mentor for you then, and of course you're 14, 15 years old all the way to 16, 17, 18 coming up out of high school. But when you get here, the coaches treat you like a grown man, and here they let you know that out here is business, and you may be able to chat and play around on the football field in high school, but when you get here, it's all about winning. You've been recruited to play football here, and you have the opportunity to show what you got, and if you're not getting the job done, you might not see the field at all.
Do you feel that you've gotten the job done in 2 years? I know it's probably a struggle as your freshman year. You had some opportunities as a sophomore here. How do you feel like your growth and your opportunities for you as a wide receiver have been here? And what's probably one of the biggest adjustments you've had to make?
I think that I've grown a lot. When I first got here, I had a lot that I had to see, and I felt that I had a lot of pride coming in, and you get humbled real fast. You get humbled real fast because it's a lot of guys here that are just as good as you, and you have to work. And I'm a hard worker, and I like to work, but I realized when I got here I had to work harder. So my biggest adjustment, I think, was realizing that I can't get off on just my talent, my God-given talent. I got to put a little bit to that. And I'm still doing that, and I think that I've developed a lot, realizing that.
Okay, now you also did some punt returning and some wide receiving here at UCLA. What would you feel like was your best performance in 2 years here?
As far as punt return or wide receiver? It's hard to tell because in high school I really wasn't a punt returner. I was a kick returner. I think I'm pretty proud of myself coming here to the Division I level and taking upon the job as a punt returner, and hadn't really had done it a lot. And I think that I progressed a lot. And this year I was one of the leading punt returners in the Pac-10. So I'm proud of myself. I really do take pride in that. And, I'm definitely going to better myself at it because I'm still fresh at it.
Now, there's a new coach here at UCLA. Rick Neuheisel is a new coach, and Norm Chow, a guru offensively that you'll be studying under. It's probably a little bit too early to tell the adjustments that you're going to have to make, but certainly the great coach that Neuheisel is, and the great guru in offensive coordination as Norm Chow. What is your feelings about a new coach who didn't recruit you and a new offensive coordinator?
It's definitely surprising. It's something that you don't expect when you get here because you're used to the people that recruit you. But I had a coaching change when I first got here as a freshman, and I had another coaching change my sophomore year. So it's not really going to be that hard. And to even look at the coaches that we're getting in, if you ask me, I think it's an all-star cast that we're getting. So I'm not really going to be upset about anything, and I'm really not going to sit here and complain about anything because I feel like these guys are going to come in and turn everything around. And I'm just going to put all my trust, and I know that I have confidence in them because these coaches are proven. So I'm just sitting back and getting ready for whatever they throw out there.
One last question I have for you. Let's talk to a ninth grader coming into Poly High School and seeing you. here at UCLA as going in to be a junior, what kind of advice would you give a ninth grader going into high school in terms of wanting to go to a 4-year school and playing sports? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, first of all, that they really got to set out a plan for themselves. You know, when I first got to Poly, I already had the idea that I wanted to go to a 4-year school, and I think that's where it starts at. And, you know, if you don't have a goal, then you don't really have nothing to reach for. So they definitely should set up a goal, and when they get there, they just got to take everything slow and work on themselves and not worry about, don't become peer envy or neighbor envy. You know, they got to worry about themselves. I mean, definitely look at whoever's good and you want to compete against them, but don't sit and be jealous about anything. You know, always sit back and be kosher and be humble about yourself, and then you'll be fine.
One last question. Let's say it's some kids who are running, who's a good athlete, running around with the wrong crowd. How do they disassociate themselves with people that are not doing them any good? I mean, that's a tough call for a 14, 15-year-old. You got your homeboys that you run with. However, they may not be doing the right thing, and you want to do the right thing. What kind of advice would you give to a young man like that?
Me personally, I've dealt with it. You know, I have had friends that had tragedies because of this, and the only thing I can say about this is that if your friends don't respect what you got going on and respect that, you know, you have a goal or a dream, then those really aren't your friends. You know, you shouldn't be around them, and you know, I think that they should be able to realize that you're trying to do something. And the thing that you want to do, you know, personally, I think, is try to pull them, you know, along with you. And then maybe they can see that if they don't in the first place. But that's the advice that I would give.
You know, Terrence, I'm so very, very proud of you. I've known your father for 40 years here since I've been in Long Beach, and you make all of us very, very proud. We know that you're going to get a degree here. Whatever you do in football is fine, but you as a fine African-American young man is a great role model, and I know it's a lot of pressure and responsibility to that, but you've carried it so very, very well. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you. I appreciate that myself. Thanks.
That's Terrence Austin. I am personally so very proud of him. Him and his father and I are very, very good friends. He's up here at UCLA, this storied ground where some great African Americans went to school. Ralph Bunch went here, Jackie Robinson went here, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went here, and he's another forerunner of a young man that's going to make us very, very proud. We'll be right back after these messages with All Sides with another interview here at the UCLA campus.